Here we are. Hello, I'm Phil Smith, and today we're going to have a little bit of a bittersweet discussion. See, I love reading, and I'm sure most of you that are on BookTube love reading too. And there's one thing that we rarely ever discuss about books that needs to be discussed. You see, you ever seen The Princess Bride? It's this cool 80s fantasy film. Anyways, the reason I'm bringing this up is because that film talks about a certain type of book we rarely bring up in booktube that I at least I know of slash seen or not seen in this case, and that is a good book that has a lot of baggage in it, a lot of bloated elements that bog the story down, so that the only way you can truly enjoy it is to skim through it, like in The Princess Bride. And the reason I bring this up is because I just finished reading Gaudamus or Gaudeus or Godumi whatever the title of this book is, if you can read it, okay? I just finished reading this, and this book has a great story when it gets to it about this detective who finds out about like all this crazy stuff that happens. Like there's this teleporting device thing going on, but the teleporting device brings in these aliens who purchase the planet Earth to own. And then there's like these drugs that are capable of mind reading and all sorts of crazy awesome stuff like that. And then there's the whole damn subplot where they completely drop that plot in case of getting onto the other main character, if you can call him that, the writer of the novel, who is just... Look, the writer, the detective is telling what's happening, the story, to his friend. And his friend has no real purpose all in the plot other than showing a site, an online site that happens to be linked to all the weird, mysterious goings on with the detective story. And that's only in the first part of the book. And after that, the writer, author, the friend of the detective literally serves no purpose in the story. And on top of that, there's a lot of just pointless add-on information in the story for no real reason. Like, for example, there's a whole useless, pointless description going on about the father of this one character and how he was named by his father, which serves no purpose in the plot whatsoever. I mean, let me give you an example of how bloated this story can be sometimes, okay? Let me see here. Where did I put it? Oh, darn it. It was right here. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Found it. It was on the other side. Okay. This is just gives you example. So, I've got an interest in the narratology of the abduction construct. I think there's a potential way to deconstruct it with respect to the urban-rural power relation. Now, all that smart-ass bullshit talking is saying is, I'm doing a case study on the narrative of alien abductees. But instead of just saying in this sentence, I'm doing a case study on narratives of alien abductions, instead, through the abductees, it instead says, I've got an interest in the narratology of the abduction construct. I think there's a potential way to deconstruct it with respect to the urban-rural power relation, which means absolutely nothing. Diddly squat. It's just a bunch of smartsy, fartsy words to make you sound smart and serves no damn purpose. And that's just one example. Add these pointless, useless descriptions. There's a whole bloody description of an entire town with its all new age crystal nonsense that serves no purpose in the story because the fucking main characters drive to a fucking cottage, a wood cottage out in the middle of fucking nowhere. So what was the point in describing the town? What was the point in having a description about the fathers of this one son and just giving this pointless, useless description on why this Sun person, one of the actual character's story, got his fucking name. We don't need to know that. A lot of pointless baggage. And the thing is, like I said, the story is good and it does work when it's about the story, when it's about all the cool detective stuff. But you have to skim through that. And the unfortunate thing was I read too much into the book before realizing it, and so I got bogged down with all the pointless, useless baggage rolled in. Heck, even the author himself actually points out how his writing is. As he put in one little description for a story idea, a character who never knew how to start a story because the beginning needed context, and the context demanded earlier beginning, and in 10 minutes he'd be all the way back to the Big Bang. So in other words, full of useless context, tangents, filler, and makes the story bloated and pointless. And that's why the only way to truly enjoy it is to skim read it. And if I had a similar experience with this with Don Quixote, you know, I love Don Quixote when the story is about Don Quixote and Sancho, but instead, what is most of the story focus? Does a lot of the story, especially in the first book, focus on? All these useless minor characters that suck and have no real purpose in the story and just aren't as good as Sancho and Don Quixote. Other than that, there's the poetry in Don Quixote that's really good too. But I'm getting off topic. The point is, there are books that are good, but you have to skim read them. And we don't really address that much at all. And we should, because even though it's always great to have a book that we can enjoy beginning to end, there's always going to be that one read that it's just a bit too much baggage, and we can only really enjoy it by skimming. And I just want to bring that up because, like I said, nobody else is doing it. No one else is addressing this, and I felt like it needed to be addressed, so I addressed it. And yeah, I'm done now. This pretty much covers it. See you later.